All right, let's just get right into it because we've all been there, right? You're having a private conversation about something totally random, and then boom, an ad for that exact thing shows up on your phone. It's creepy. And it makes you wonder, is my phone actually listening to me? Today, we're going to get to the bottom of this. And look, this is not just a one-off thing. Check out the story from a Reddit user. It just hits the nail on the head. They didn't search for anything, didn't type a single letter. They just said out loud that their neck hurt, and boom, Facebook is serving up a fix. It's stories like this that make you think, there's no way this is a coincidence. So this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? The one that's behind all the conspiracy theories. Are our devices secretly eavesdropping on our lives just to sell us stuff? I mean, this feeling is so common now that for a lot of people, it's not even a question, it's just a fact. They're convinced. Of course they're listening. How else could this happen? And here's where it gets really wild. Some companies have actually leaned into this idea. Cox Media Group, in their own marketing materials, straight up said, it's true, your devices are listening to you. They were boasting about it. So case closed, right? Well, maybe not. Okay, now we're going to switch gears. Let's really put this whole theory under the microscope and see what the technical experts and researchers have to say. Is this real or is it just a myth? Yeah, so instead of just going off that creepy feeling, cybersecurity specialists over at a firm called Wandera decided, you know what, let's build an experiment. Let's try to catch these apps red-handed. And the setup for their experiment was actually pretty brilliant in its simplicity. They took two sets of identical phones. One set went into an audio room where they just blasted pet food commercials for 30 minutes straight. The other set, it was in a totally silent room. The idea was, if the phones were listening, the ones in the audio room should start seeing a bunch of ads for dog food. So what happened? Well, the results couldn't have been clearer. Not a single pet food ad showed up, anywhere. But they looked deeper. See, if your phone was constantly recording and uploading audio, it would chew through your data and kill your battery, right? Well, they found no spike in data usage, no extra battery drain, nothing. Their conclusion? Zero evidence of any secret listening. And it's not just this one experiment. Think about the logistics here. There's a massive, massive technical hurdle to this whole idea. The sheer amount of work involved in recording, uploading, and processing conversations from billions of people, it's just, well, it's practically impossible. And let's try to put a number on that just to see how crazy it is. A former Facebook product manager did the math. To stream audio from every single person in the US would take about 20 petabytes of data. Every single day. That's just an insane amount of information. It's not just hard to do, it's just not practical from a business or tech standpoint. Plus, for what it's worth, the big tech companies themselves have been saying, no, we don't do this for years. Facebook put out this official statement way back in 2016. They swear they aren't using your mic for ads. Instead, they say they're using, well, all the other information you give them. And that brings us to the real story. Okay, so let's recap. The experiments say they're not listening. The math says it's basically impossible. So how in the world are they getting those ads so creepily accurate? How do they seem to know what we're thinking? Well, here's the twist. The reason the ad algorithms feel like they're reading your mind, it's not because of some spy movie audio surveillance. The real reason is actually way more complicated and honestly, maybe even a little more unsettling. It's because they don't need to listen to you. They don't have to. Why? Because your data, your digital life, is already screaming everything about you. Every click, every search, every place you go, it paints this incredibly detailed picture of who you are. And think about all the data points they have. They've got your location, what you search for, who your friends are, what you buy, and not just online. They can track offline purchases through loyalty cards. They see which apps you use, how long you're on them, who you talk to, and when. They don't need to hear you complain about your neck. They just need to see that you're in the same building as your friend who just Googled chiropractor near me. So let's break down how one of these coincidences actually happens. It's all about connecting the dots. Okay, let's say your friend is online searching for cat food. A little later, you two meet up for coffee. Your phones know you're at the same GPS location, probably connected to the same Wi-Fi. The algorithm sees that proximity, links your profiles together, and makes a pretty good guess. Hey, these two hang out. They probably have similar interests. Let's show the other one the cat food ad too. It's not magic. It's just data correlation on a mind-boggling scale. Now, as you can imagine, this level of tracking hasn't gone unnoticed. There's been a pretty big backlash from both regular people and governments who are starting to wake up to just how much data is being scooped up, and they're starting to push back. One of the most important developments here is that the law is starting to create new categories for our data. Take California's privacy law, the CPRA. It actually defines something called sensitive personal information. This isn't just your name, it's the really deep stuff. Your exact location, your race, religion, genetics. And the law basically says, whoa, this stuff gets extra protection. And if you look at how California's privacy laws have changed, you can see a clear trend. The first version, the CCPA, was a decent start, but the new version, the CPRA, is way more powerful. It created a whole new agency just to enforce these rules. It gives you the right to limit how that sensitive data is used, and it closed a big loophole. Now it regulates data sharing, not just sales. The message is clear. Regulators are taking this way more seriously. So, what can you do about all this? It might feel overwhelming, but you actually have more control than you might think. A great first step is just to do a little privacy checkup on your own phone. Go through your app permissions. Ask yourself, does this puzzle game really need access to my microphone? No. Turn it off. Go into your main privacy settings and just revoke microphone access for any app that doesn't absolutely need it for its core function. And finally, when you see that little pop-up on a website asking to track you, just click no. You can even install tools that automatically tell every website you visit that you don't want your data sold or shared. These little things, they really do add up. So, here's the bottom line. The idea that your phone is secretly listening to your conversations, it's pretty much a myth. But the reality is actually way more complex. They don't need to listen to your voice because your data is already speaking for you. It's telling a story about who you are, what you like, and even what you might do next. So the real question isn't, is my phone listening? The real question is, what is my data saying about me? And what are you going to do to change that story?